What's up, everybody? We're live and there's a little bit of an echo because I'm in an empty room with only a desk that I am about to assemble. I already did some of it. I'll show you what it looks like. This is my laptop. It's part of the desk. All right. That's it, part of the desk, and I'm about to do more of it. So in case anybody is wondering where I am, I'm in my new house that I talked about in a video. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. It is moving to Texas. I live in Texas now, and it's awesome, and I love it so much. And I'm originally from California, so I know that there's so many people who know what I'm talking about, and yes. So also another thing I'm gonna start off with is that if you aren't subscribed to my channel, to my YouTube channel, go and subscribe to my YouTube channel because it is, I have a video that is about to premiere at 6 p.m. Eastern time. 6 p.m. Dallas time, so 7 p.m. Eastern time. My bad, 7 p.m. And I don't know if I put it in my Instagram story right, but definitely go and check that out if you haven't already. This echo is driving me nuts. But it's about religion, and it's about it's supposed to be 5 tips for people who are leaving their religious community as I did. It's not to convince you to do it, it's only to help you on your journey if you're wondering if that, if you're having trouble, whatever. Okay, so here we go. Someone is asking, why did you move? Did you know Joe Rogan? By the way, hey Rosemary, I got to see Rosemary, and you're actually gonna see Rosemary in this video that's coming out at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You're gonna see Rosemary. Rick and I visited her in Nashville last week, and it was awesome because I've been talking about it, about how I'm gonna visit her in Nashville, and it finally happened. So get ready. Joe Anderson, hey, and thank you so much, Joe. It is good to see you. It's good to see everybody here. If you're on Periscope, you are cordially invited to my YouTube channel. It is in the link of my Twitter feed, Twitter account, so you can go check it out, subscribe. See you in the premiere video at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so yeah. Someone is saying this room is hella empty. So since you're asking about this new house that I moved to, yes, it's in Texas. No, I'm not friends with Joe Rogan. He doesn't know me, although I watch his stuff. So, but he's one of many people who, like myself, are from California, and they live in Texas now because it's just a very popular place for people from California to move to. And my neighborhood, every neighborhood is just getting an influx. Every suburban Texas neighborhood is getting an influx of Californians, it seems. So Nieto Don says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely do you think the Arizona call holding up is? Dude, I have no idea. So Rick and his friend have been talking about the election, about the numbers this whole morning, and when they've been talking about it. And to me, it just seems I don't know what to believe or which numbers to believe. It's really hard for me, especially because I don't know so much about politics to begin with. And so it's already difficult for me to try and understand the numbers. And then on top of that, there's so many errors, and it's so hard to know who to believe because there was an error in Arizona, there was an error in Michigan. They're saying that like they called too early. It seems like the media outlets they're pushing out numbers only when it shows that Joe Biden is winning, but they're not like publishing numbers when Trump is winning. So like it's really hard to know, and I genuinely like if Joe Biden actually wins and he becomes president, like I'm gonna accept him as president. But I also want to know that there isn't like fraud happening and that it's like a fair election. I genuinely want that, and everybody wants that. Everybody who's like a rational person. Okay, read some of your comments. I'm like not actually doing any like fixing. I did a little bit, but I'm really bad at multitasking. Joe says I'll accept it if it's fair and square. Let's see. Nah, MF Soul says, are Texans worried about Cali transplants changing the culture? Is that a legitimate fear? Valid. So I see a lot of like people saying that they're worried, but honestly, I feel like it's already changed so much. The landscape in Texas, it doesn't seem like it used to be this way. Like the people, the locals, my neighbors are already used to this. They've already accepted that like most of the people moving in here are coming from California. They're like used to it. I don't know how to say it. They don't seem angry because like maybe years ago they would have been angry, but I think that they seem happy actually. Like I'm talking to a lot of people who work in construction and real estate and a lot of different industries here that are booming, and people in general seem very like the people here are great. They're very hardworking. They're like resourceful. They're just like very into entrepreneurship and all that. So they're very entrepreneurial. So they're taking advantage of it. Honestly, they're taking advantage of like all the people moving from out of town. This one guy I just spoke to, he works in construction, and he said, and also I've been calling a lot of people to help with the house. So this one guy was saying how like over 50%, like the majority of the people that are his clients are transplants, like they're not even from Texas. So anyway, NYC Broker says, how does it feel not being near Persians? I visit my family, so I see my Persian family. I don't know, I guess like the Persian community in LA is so big and like in your face that I don't know. I like prefer it this way. Go back and visit and then come back to my own little hole. Stuff like that. So let's see. This is kind of confusing, like the instructions. So normally I get my furniture from IKEA, but now I got this desk from Target. I'm trying to figure out how to do it because it's just so much more complicated than those IKEA furniture. So like, how does that work? I guess something goes over here. All right. All right. Hello, everybody. Hello. It's not from IKEA. Hamid, it's not from your country. Hamid is from Sweden. But it's okay because the rest of my furniture is. Someone is asking, at what point did you change about the left and liberal politics? So I haven't made like radical changes with politics. I think I just wasn't very political before. So I just became a little bit more political. I just became more like learning more about politics and seeing what's happening and like red pilled. So like I was never a lefty. Maybe I was like a hippie a little bit in some ways, but I like freedom, and also I don't have a lot of sympathy for people for the ideology that you have to just like that I'm trying to say this in a nice way, but like that the downtrodden get points just because they're downtrodden. Like I believe in the people who are good getting points, meaning like getting your help or your I don't know. Like I believe in hard work being rewarded, goodness being rewarded, things that are good being rewarded. I don't believe that people should be rewarded just because they are unfortunate, feeling unfortunate. So because like there's just so much. Well, all the terrorists have unfortunate past. Like you can't like run an entire ideology based on emotions. Like there has to be like common sense. And I always felt that way. I mean the whole idea that you have to be selfless, like you just have to like, for the sake of being selfless, like for the sake of like sacrificing for other people, and also like for the collective, that you can't be proud of your own accomplishments and you can't like work towards something great and be proud of it. I think that's like, it's like a very religious idea, and again I talk about a little bit about religion, and I know a lot of you are religious, so it's not, I guess it's not religion in general, but like the bad parts of it, or the parts of it that you should try not to fall into. 7 p.m. Eastern time. Check out my live premiere. But thanks, Hamid. Sammy Adams says, back to the election. The Trump campaign is throwing around way too many conspiracy theories right now. And so, okay, so conspiracy theories meaning that the election is rigged, that there's voter fraud happening. I don't think that I don't think that it's a conspiracy theory that there's voter fraud happening. You can say, oh, maybe it's happening. You can say like maybe it's not happening like on an organized level, and it's just like individuals, like little vigilantes here and there who are doing it, who are like throwing out Trump ballots, or like they're making mistakes in their reporting of Trump votes. You can say that that's happening, but I don't think you can say that it's a conspiracy theory that there's like that something is wrong with the way that, and you might even say that Republicans are doing it. Like in the past, Republicans have been accused of really bad, I mean, where was it, North Carolina? There was like a huge voter fraud scandal that Republicans were responsible for. So you might say that, but and I also don't like to call things conspiracy theories. I think that the people who are quick to call everything a conspiracy theory tend to miss like important news. I like conspiracy theorists because I think that they are the only people who are willing to like open their minds and think where nobody's thinking. And they're gonna be much more likely to discover like real journalism, like real information that's falling through the cracks, because everybody's too scared of being labeled a conspiracy theorist. Conspiracy theorist is like person who investigates things I don't want them to investigate. That's what conspiracy theorist is. And oftentimes they are actually delusional, but those are the people who are willing to go where nobody else is going. And they're willing to like check out the edgy stories. And maybe 90% of the time it turns out to be crazy conspiracy theory, but 10% of the time they're gonna find actual stories that like nobody else discovered because everybody was too afraid of being labeled a conspiracy theorist. Hemming says exactly, Sweden is a failing country because of that mentality. I didn't know that. And I wanted to visit Sweden, but that's really a shame. Sorry, I'm not laughing at Sweden falling because of that. I hate that mentality and I feel like it's gonna destroy our country too. But I'm laughing because someone said, Jen says, I'm a proud conspiracy theorist. Okay, how's the desk going? Okay, I haven't really made a lot of progress on the desk. So the desk is, I just need to find, I need to find this piece over here. Okay, that's a weird angle that I'm sitting in. So I need to find that piece. Let's see. Where is it? Okay, I think I found it. I think this is it. It doesn't even say anywhere it doesn't even say anything about it anywhere. I don't know, does it go like this? I don't know. It's got a hole here. It shows a hole. So I guess it's gonna go, I don't know if you can tell, you can't tell. That it's not IKEA. Sorry, Sweden. Sorry, Sweden, it's not IKEA. It is Target. Oops. Okay, we'll bring this down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Sage Wave, I see you. Thank you. Thank you, Sage Wave. Okay, so, can't tell. All right, so we got this piece. We're trying to put it over here, and I'm trying to figure out what I need, which screws I need to do that. Nieto says, any advice for young conservatives? Have had several people tell me we were done if I voted Trump. Okay. First of all, screw them. It's such a toxic mentality that people are gonna stop being friends with you because you voted for Trump or that you were thinking of voting for Trump. Seriously, screw those people. And I know it's easier said than done because it might be somebody that you grew up with, but, or someone that you work with, so you might lose your job, and you don't want to lose your job, but the problem is that you shouldn't be, okay, here it goes. Am I doing this right? The problem is, why should you be bullied by them? Like, why aren't you telling them, like, if you don't vote for Trump, then I'm not gonna be friends with you? Why is it that they're doing that to you? Why are you letting them do it to you? I didn't understand this. Like, I never understood it. Maybe it was like this before. I don't understand it. And for so long in DC, I tried to be like bipartisan. And of course, if you try, you're gonna find people who are really nice on the left, and they will be friends with you no matter what. They will be your friend, and they'll tell you they won't care about your politics. You might be their only conservative friend. Usually it's gonna be like that. If you try hard enough to make lefty friends, you'll find them, and you might be their only conservative friend, and they will be really nice to you and gracious. And I still have my friends like that. I still have my lefty friends, and they know that I throw shade at lefties now, especially because I'm in Texas, so I don't even care anymore. So I'm just like, whatever, I say whatever I want because I'm no longer in LA or DC or New York City, and I can just run my mouth, and I don't care because half my neighborhood are Trump supporters. So whatever, get effed. I'm just saying that because I don't want to get demonetized by cussing. But I tried a lot to like suck up to people, and I just think it's not healthy. It's not healthy for you. You know what? Like, if you really need to, like, move to a town where there's more Republicans, do what I did. Move to a town that you don't have to be, people don't have to be like nice and kind-hearted to like associate with you. Screw that. You're not doing that to them. Like, I'm so done with that. No one's gonna like do charity by being my friend. It's like, it's so absurd. It's like China. It's like living in China. That's from what I have a lot of classmates who live in China, who are from China, and that's how it is over there. If you're not like communist or part of like that ideology, you're you're like an outsider, or you're like low class. People don't want to have anything to do with you because they don't want to, they don't want their social score to go down. Jen says, I'm in DC. Kind of hellish. Was in Frederick the other day. A lot more chill. Cool. Longshot says, typical millennial spoiled brat. That's right. Andy McCoy says, I wouldn't care if I was surrounded by Bernie Sanders commies. I wouldn't care either. I just like, if you want to become like a radical, like right-winger or a Trump supporter or whatever, you just have to spend enough time in like a big blue city where like 96% of the population is like hardcore Democrats, and they're like so political to the point where like they will like not talk to you or have anything to do with you if you're like conservative because they think you're like a Nazi. So if you want to become like crazy hardcore Trump supporter or right winger or whatever, just spend some time in one of those areas. Oh, long shot. Thanks for clearing that up, long shot. Thank you. Yeah. I'll try to stop saying like Mr. Scoop. So I think that's what happened to me. I don't think that you should be like that. I just think that if you spend less time in those big blue, very commie, I don't know how else to say it, cities, those with that mentality, you'll be less angry. You'll be a less angry person. And you won't care who you're around. You won't, whatever. So I think I'm just a little bit angry. And I think that that's gonna go away in a very quick time because, like I said, Texas has been awesome. And I love the mentality here. As I tweeted the other day, people here don't seem to care as much. They're like doing their own thing. They're not the people who live here. They're not like in academia. They're like more like middle class type. They're not in academia. They're a lot of like, you know, blue collar jobs. They're very not involved in politics. So if they support a political candidate, they're not trying to screw somebody up over it. They're just voting like they would any other year. So I think that by being here after a while, I will go back to being, maybe hopefully go back to being less political and caring less about that stuff and I think I might be a little bit, I don't know, but I think I'll go back to like seeing it just purely as a sport and not as like a life-threatening thing. Someone's asking what I mean by commie. I'm like half joking when I say commie, but I mean having of the communist leaning mindset. I don't know how else to say it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1S2. Look, I'm trying to figure out what it is that I'm looking for. 1S. Okay, this is what I need. All right. Okay, so we got 3 little screws over here. Somebody says, let's see. Popperation says you're already doing manual labor, so things are looking up. Haha. J-Rich says we've never had an election stolen in daylight like this. In broad daylight, sorry. Broad daylight. So, I don't know. Is it like, yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that there's election fraud happening. So I have no doubt about that. But does it seem close enough that Trump would win if not for these, okay, I guess maybe. I don't know, that would be really infuriating if you voted for Trump and you're like watching, and I saw someone posted a video online of this guy like taking ballots and going like yes, 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 like and then taking some of the ballots and then like crumpling it up and throwing it in the garbage. So if you knew that was your vote, you'd be like infuriated. I feel like I should do a poll. Like, is Trump gonna win? Do you think Trump is going to win? Is Trump? I think I might be doing this wrong. I don't know if I'm doing this right. I don't know if I'm doing this right, mister. I need to learn Spanish because everybody here speaks Espanol. And I used to speak better, but I didn't have a lot of practice recently. Okay, So Dustin Brown says it's a tough call, honestly. Yeah, it seems really close. Did I break it? I think I might have broken it. Wow. Hamid says Trump is not going to win since the New World Order goes far out of their way to deprive him of his rightful victory. So if there's election fraud, then wouldn't it go to the courts, right? Like the GOP would sue, right? And they would, I mean, why do we have... And so, from what I've been seeing online, it seems like people are doubtful that Republicans are going to vote on this going to court because Republicans in general don't seem to care about their political candidates as much as Democrats do. At least they don't seem as willing to fight for their political candidates the way that Democrats do. But it seems like it could still, I mean, it could be salvaged for Trump if it goes to court, right? They might do like a recount or something. Hi, Dove. What's up, Dove? Thanks for joining. I hear laughing. Dominique says he still has a chance. There could be fraud. Yeah, like in that case, wouldn't it go to, I don't know, wouldn't the Senate vote on it or whatever? So I saw someone else tweet like, I don't get it. Why are we worried about voter fraud as if like Democrats will only do it? Wouldn't it be also, if it's so easy to do it, then wouldn't Republicans also do it? So I think it just goes back to what we were saying earlier about Democrats in general. I think that they do tend to be more political in general. They tend to be more hardcore about their candidates and more likely to go to drastic measures to get their candidates to win. I mean, you literally saw the Parkland survivors, like these parents whose child was like shot in a school shooting. It's really sad tragedy, and the parents are like, oh, like they made like they literally used their dead son's like face to like bring him back to life in some like holographic video so that he can tell people to vote for Joe Biden or vote for whatever cause it was, like gun control or something like that. Like people, I mean, I don't think Republicans would go that far. They don't strike me as like into their political candidates to do something like that drastic. So that's why I'm suspicious. I'm more suspicious of Democrats than Republicans doing it. But who knows? We should always be worried about election fraud, no matter who the party is. Okay. I think I might go. And let you guys have a break before my next video. If you don't over tighten, okay, yeah, it might be over tightened. Okay, I'm gonna try. Yeah, like sometimes I do over tighten, like when I do furniture stuff, and it like breaks, the wood breaks because like I did it too much. Dove says he just got a notification of my OTD video. I'm excited for you guys to watch it. It's a little bit like biased, so it's talking about religion from the perspective of somebody who chose to leave it. So like, keep that in mind. It's biased. It in no way reflects how I feel about like religious people, or like it can be taken with a grain of salt in general about religion, because things change and people, like, communities evolve. But for people who are like ex-religious, or they're in the process of like maybe being a little bit less religious, or even maybe being more religious, and it's like you're having a hard time adjusting to lifestyle, I think this video might be a little helpful. This video that's premiering in half an hour, it might be a bit helpful it might be a little bit helpful because it's got like tips on what to do, like how to handle it. So how to like adjust your lifestyle so that you don't go crazy when you like make that religious change. So hopefully it helps you guys. Go check it out. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joe, and thanks, Rosemary, and and you'll see Rosemary on it. And YouTube fam, you're the best. I love my YouTube fam. If you're not in my YouTube fam yet, go over to YouTube and subscribe to my channel. That way you'll get like notifications like Dove just did that I'm about to have a video. So and it's gonna go live, so do that. Okay. Dominique says if it doesn't go his way, then at least we'll have a Senate. Yeah, and that might be just all that Republicans need is keeping the Senate for things to go right. Okay, take care, Hamid. Good night, everybody. I don't believe you, Dove. Okay, good night, everybody. See you soon in my video.